matchup today. But before we get into all that action, I've got to introduce the legend to my digital right. Edu, how are we feeling today, my friend?
Honestly, I feel pretty good. I mean, I woke up early to get to class, and now I'm going to watch as these kids kind of school me here in this 1v1. I mean, this is a best of one, pretty standard Valorant game. But Hot Sauce, we've kind of been here a few times. This is not not something unknown to us here at IEN. And of course, our new season coming in the fall here. I'm really excited for what the Indiana Esports Network has up for us for grabs. I mean, there's a lot of games to be seen and a lot of different games to actually be watching. I know we got some chess, we got some Valorant, and we even have, I believe, some Fortnite, some Bed Wars goes on as well. I mean, we got a whole lot here at IEN. So, Hot Sauce, I got to ask the same question to you. How are you feeling today?
Feeling great. Excited to be back in the booth with you. It's always fun to get to showcase some of the wonderful young talent that we've got here in Indiana. And we're going to be heading to a map that I'm sure everybody is incredibly familiar with if you know Valorant at all. Off to Ascent, Hobart, Brebeuf, Jesuit taking on each other in this head-to-head today. And as you mentioned, just a best of one. So every round's going to be very important in this one.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, Ascent, arguably probably the best map for best of ones. In my opinion, it's the map where you either make or break based off of your fundamental skills around Valorant. This is the default map for a good reason. We've seen some tweaks to it. We've seen, Sentinel meta. We've seen, the Initiator meta kind of impact here. We've seen KJ being a staple pick for a long time, getting kicked off by the new Sentinel, Cypher, and Deadlock. So seeing what we can with this map as Ascent is just so historically known for, bringing out the best of the best in these players. I'm pretty excited here, Hot Sauce. And, I got to ask, getting into this game, do we think we're going to be seeing meta picks, or is it going to be just whatever these kids want to play?
Yeah, honestly, I think that's one thing I really like about some of the Scholastic stuff is we don't always see that meta action. It's kind of some of those comfortability picks. So I think that's something I certainly look forward to. But as we do get ready for this first game, I do want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors here today, and Zotac Gaming, and a big thanks to them for powering today's stream. Without their incredible support, we're able to bring this broadcast to everybody here, helping to showcase all of the wonderful young talent here in Scholastic Esports. So you guys can also show your appreciation for Zotac Gaming by giving them a shout out on social media. Make sure you join their community on Discord as well. And don't forget to use the hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag Zotac USA. So you can make those posts. Let us know who you might think is going to win today's game.
Oh, absolutely. And between these two teams, I'm pretty excited here. I mean, of course, you're going to have Hobart versus a Brebeuf Jesuit. And honestly, these two teams I haven't actually gotten to see too much of here. But, kind of knowing the history of the IEN, knowing the history of how many just really solid players you wouldn't really expect to be in the middle of Indiana, they might be here. We can see the next VCT players. Everybody has to start somewhere, and honestly, with the way that now younger and younger players are finding their way into the streamlines to get them into that esports scene, I'm glad that we're seeing it here at the Scholastic level. I love to be seeing it even more in the collegiate level, and now we're actually seeing that pipeline of I started playing when I was a kid to now I'm playing for schools to maybe I'm D1, maybe I'm varsity, maybe I'm all the way to the equivalent of NFL here in Valorant, the VCT scene. So I'm really excited to see what kind of talent's actually starting to brew up in these younger generations.
Yeah, you make a great point. I mean, we do all start somewhere. I know I cast for some other high school leagues, and I've seen some of the students go on to collegiate, and I've got to cast them in college as well. So it's great to see these young athletes getting so many more opportunities here. So something that I certainly look forward to. You talked about it as well. Both of these teams, I mean, we've been with IEN a few seasons now, but I don't think I've gotten to see Hobart or Brebeuf Jesuit on screen yet. So I'm excited to see what these two teams here have to offer. Of course, it's only week one, so there's always a lot of room for growth, but it's always fun to see where these teams start out at versus where they finish.
Absolutely. And, talking from my experience right now, even for my college, I'm recruiting these kind of kids. So I know scouts are going to be looking at some of these gameplay, especially if you're a state school in Indiana. It's a perfect opportunity to maybe take a look at some of these players and say, okay, maybe I have a space for you at this college, at this university. And even if it's not in Indiana, there's some teams that have been looking out for these guys. I was just over the weekend scouting at a Smash tournament to see if we can grab some really solid talent. And yeah, high school students, they are definitely definitely some of the best in Smash, and they're just slowly building back up. I remember a couple years ago casting over the PIEA over in Pennsylvania. We got a lot of stuff going on here, Hot Sauce. So seeing this amount of gameplay and seeing this amount of interest in the scene, I mean, I think that there's a good contention for traditional sports in the next 5 to 10 years here, as more people just like playing video games.
Yeah, you've seen, you talk about the collegiate opportunities, but even some Olympic opportunities. I had a buddy that was on a trial team for games like Counter-Strike, other games, but so it's really has had a exponential growth, I think, in 50 different events a year. So be sure to stop by, check out landfest.com, and hopefully find an event near you.
Absolutely. And as we've seen a lot of LANfest opportunities across the country, we've also seen a lot of these players kind of wanting to battle through it. It really does matter when we are getting back into this game with Ascent to kind of focus up on, what these guys really like to do. Obviously, we're now going to be jumping into the game, sort of, but we gotta wonder who is behind the scenes. We got the varsity team here for Hobart, and this is our roster. And looking at players, you got Rusty Boy, Noodle Man, Rusty Boy with a very funny emoji, all the way to a Ratatouille. So looking at some of these guys, not a lot of names are going to ring a bell, but keep your eye on it, because there's a good chance that a lot of these names could be seen in those later scenes. So looking over at Brave Buff Jesuit, it looks like we don't have their main roster, but we know their coach. It's going to be Kristen Ritter.
Yeah, and I was checking out some of the players in the background. They actually have a pretty big roster, so I'm not sure what the starting 5 are, but I know there was like a Chill for Real, a Zeo, Emerald, Sir Nugget, Reaper Baby, Mecha Skull, Zuru, and Dinky X. So I know they've got a deep roster over there. I'm not sure what 5 they'll be starting with, but it's nice to see that there is a big interest in these extracurricular activities here. So we can see them all kind of getting into the lobby there. So it does look like there is at least a Chill for Real, Dinky that we talked about, Zeo, Pixel, and Flurby on that side there for Brebuff Jesuit. So Ascent, you talked about it. I mean, this is a map that everybody should pretty much know very, very well at this point. There were some changes not too long ago, especially over toward that B site there with, we're used to spraying through the wall initially, but I think those were pretty good changes.
Absolutely. And with the slight tweaks that we're seeing to Ascent over the last couple months, also a big change to Valorant has come through with the replay system. Now, that won't really be on air for us today to kind of showcase, but if you guys are watching from home, if you're here to support your favorite players, if you're friends, family, or just interested in esports in general, try to get us some really solid clips of your favorite players. If somebody gets a double kill, if someone does something really cool and they pop off, maybe even get an ace this game, I want you guys to be clipping that, and maybe we can get that in here for just another thing to put a hashtag on. Of course, with Zotac Gaming, you gotta be, what are you gonna put a hashtag on if it's not gonna be one of these banger clips? So if you are watching from home, we would really appreciate if anything you see cool happens, let us know with making a clip on Twitch. But with that being said, it looks like the players are getting a little bit antsy. Looks like they're ready to get on into the map of Ascent. And we also know the full roster that we are going to be looking at with these two. So Noodleman, Rusty Boy 2, Captain Ice, and Rock Zombie.
Maybe a little more experience there, where there's only one senior on that Hobart lineup. But we talked about it earlier. The talent starts at such a young age now. And so it'll be exciting to see all these players now out here on the battlefield of Ascent. You talked about the players being antsy. I'm antsy as well. We've had a long break, so I'm excited to be shouting at the mic over some Valorant here.
Absolutely. Let's hopefully be jumping in here in a short amount of time, but I'm just excited to be back on the mic with you, Hot Sauce, and I'm hoping that we're going to be seeing some real solid game plan as well. But with our decent amount of grades, you do have a lot more seniors on the side of Brave Buff, and I think that does need to be talked about, because if these guys have been competing in the IEN for the past couple seasons, these 12th graders have a lot more experience than some of the sophomores I'm looking at here. So we might be seeing Rookie of the Year coming out from Rock Zombie. We might see it from Flurbus. We might see it from Pixel Nino or Pixelino, something like that. But if we can get those guys to really pop off here, I'm going to be very excited.
Yeah, I'm just again excited to see the young talent and what they got to offer here on Ascent. For me, I'm always interested in seeing these lineups. We talked about it. Do we kind of see some more of that meta action? Is it that comfortability pick that I think we tend to see a little bit more when it comes to that Scholastic scene? You talked about Killjoy, Cypher, Sova have been staples on this map for a while, but I know a lot of these things have been kind of the meta's been switching up as time has gone on here. Is there anything that you're really expecting to see as far as these lineups go?
Honestly, as far as the lineups come, I really do think that it's going to come down to veteran status for a lot of the players. Obviously, we've seen that attack side of Hobart. It's a varsity team. You know, they're very confident in what they have. Varsity, pretty much when I hear the words varsity, that means that they did some tryouts. They found the best of the best of everybody who wanted to be on that team. Here at my school in Arizona, we have a lot of teams and a lot of people trying out, and sometimes you don't make a team. So just the act of being on one definitely kind of highlights that you're ready to kind of show up and show out right now.
Yeah, you know, you talked about the age difference. I think that there's not a single freshman here on either team as well, which is a little bit interesting. But you said it is the varsity team, so with enough interest, you know, maybe they have a JV squad as well. But it's, you know, it's nice to, again, see so many different people interested. We talk about the deep roster of Brew Buff. They have several members, I think, lined up on their squad as well. So for me, I'm hoping to see some Killjoy action out there just because I'm a little biased. I enjoy playing Killjoy. Raze is another fun one that I enjoy watching. I feel like we don't often see a ton of her on Ascent, at least not recently in what I've been casting, but just a couple that I think I'll be looking out for.
Alrighty, and honestly, I really do want to be looking out for the greatest of the greats. I got to be seeing the best of the best, but of course, our expectations when it comes to Scholastic, it's about having fun at the end of the day. It's about making sure that these players are going to be able to just get in this game, play beautifully, and absolutely show up, show out, and have fun. At the end of the day, if they don't have fun, we haven't done our jobs right.
Yeah, that's the minimum requirement, right? Just to go out, have a good time, you know, and it's nice that they get this competitive experience, but that is, you know, you see that good sportsmanship that we often see at the end of the game, the GGs, the well-playeds, and again, just having a good time. So as we get ready now for this agent select screen, we do see a couple Jets on both sides. A Phoenix looks pretty interesting as well. Clove, Sova, Gecko, Omen. I mean, a little bit of everything out here.
Yeah, a little bit of everything coming in, and honestly, I'm not too shocked to see some of these picks. This looks very much by the books for Ascent. Obviously, some people prefer KO, Sova. Gecko is a little bit of a questionable one on Ascent, but it's really an easy pick here. You push into B, you're going to be able to get a very fast bomb plant down. It's pretty clean. Overall, though, I'm also looking at that Phoenix pick from Zio. Zio, I'm really excited to see what kind of pop-offs they're going to be able to do.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at some of these team names here. I think currently they might actually be swapped there. I know Chill for Real and Dinky and those crew were on the Brobuff Jesuit squad. So
yeah, I think we might have to swap the signs here. Well, but I think it actually just flips from the lobby to in-game. It's a common thing that happens with Valorant. But when we get in this game, I gotta say, Hot Sauce, what player, what character do you want to see kind of show up and show out? Anybody we want to keep an eye on?
Well, you know, I said I was a big KJ fan, so for me, I'll probably have my eye on Tukey. Again, I don't really know anything about any of these players, so obviously we wish them all the best, but just because I do enjoy playing Killjoy, I've probably got my eye on Tukey, although it seems like those Jets out there often be the kind of that flashy play style, and so we tend to see a lot of frags coming out from those Jets, so probably KJ and Jets for me today. How about you?
Honestly, I want to see something from this Gecko. I don't get to see a lot of Gecko on the map of Ascent, so this could definitely turn this around.
Well, already a 2-3 split here. That Spike heading in toward Garage as well. 3 up from Catwalk. We see Clove there lurking about as well. And just a little bit of patience here from both teams. I think respecting each other's skill here, just trying to find an early pick and a little bit of intel.
Here.
Now, Rusty Boy trying to just find some openings, but at the end of the day, it's a map about defaulting. Slow starts are kind of what we're known for here. But also I'm looking at the first picks, maybe starting to get a little bit aggressive over towards tree, but right now it's a lot of dry swing. There's not a lot of util to get them through this, and no flash is necessary. They managed to take out 2, and all of the defense kind of walks into that.
Yeah, Rusty, Tukey combined for 2. Couple nice picks here, trying to get on the site. Flurbies, though, from Glass or Garden here, able to pick up that one with the Sheriff. Captain Ice goes down. Rock Zombie will find one with the Classic as well, and Brobuff has a 2-player advantage here to work with.
2v4. Hot Sauce. We do have Spike down, but that Sheriff can do a whole lot of damage here. in the hands. But swinging on out, just executed. Rusty Boy very clean with the aim. You know, not too panicked with the sprays. We'll try to back it up, but it's actually Rusty to clean it up with the wall bang. A decent first round from the attackers, but that defense side, I feel like they had so much utility they could have been working with, but we just didn't get to see a lot of it.
Yeah, Rusty had a nasty little triple there. We'll pick up the Sheriff as well. We saw Flurby with a nice Sheriff shot, but you're right. I mean, trying to peek blindly through those smokes above without a flash or something to help you entry there is just a really tough push to make. And so we saw Rusty able to capitalize on that. With that, Rebuff will be able to buy into this round. So we see a couple Spectres, a Bulldog, a Guardian here. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, you're basically at that full eco. So you're hoping for at least 2 picks. Anything extra is nice, but it is going to be a tough round here for Hobart.
Ooh, going for the jump peak. They actually do get a decent amount of information. We have smokes being dropped by the Clove, but look at how aggressive this Jet's positioning is. Very easy to punish, but as long as you just don't get pushed out too much, it's actually the Molly that burns out, and Noodleman 089 is going to be the first blood of the second round, and that's actually a great start for defense.
Early picks yet again, and I mean with the classics as well, if they're able to maybe gather up one of these weapons here, unfortunately it is lost deep. Rock Zombie on this Bulldog, able to find Flurby back to a 4v4. They've got the weapons to their advantage. There's nobody on the B side, but Tukey doesn't care. A nasty 2K, and with that, they'll look to rotate.
Looking to rotate and looking to maybe find another opportunity from these guys. I am looking at Rock Zombie. Does have a heal available and not opting to use it on any of his teammates yet. Might be waiting for another opportunity, but I feel like Captain Ice at 21 HP might be a good time to try to heal him up. But
30 seconds
at the end of the day, defense actually not going in until they have together, but we gotta check those corners. Luckily, it's the Guardian in the hands of this Phoenix, able to pop one, but it's a 1v3, and he swaps it out.
You said it earlier, you gotta check the corners, and with that, Rusty lurking here by Pizza, we'll find it. Upgrades to the Guardian as well. 2 quick rounds for Buff, but as we talked about, it was just an eco round for Hobart, so kind of to be expected. Here comes the important round now for Hobart, as they have the money to find a full buy. It looks like we're going to be rocking those Vandals for the time being here with a Spectre on Dinky. So this is going to be an important round for Hobart, one that they need to try to win here.
A very important round. Honestly, though, the buys coming out from the attack side look a little bit staggered right now. You have some people going in, some people going out, and it looks like they are going to be buying for next against a full rifle team. So that could bite them in the back, but they're already up 2, so they can afford that loss.
Yeah, try to bonus out the best of their ability. Pixel, excuse me, here. Looking that Phantom toward mid. Tukey with that Sheriff has spotted him, so a little bit of intel will come out here as well. And we see maybe Tukey trying to draw some attention toward that A site, whereas the Spike and the rest of the crew appear to be heading toward B.
Now it's just trying to use all of your util to get a little bit of info, but that shock dart, now nothing's left in Captain Ice's hands. He might try to go for the orb here. Spike in hand means maybe they can get some real space created, but I am looking at the rotation. We watched that mini map. You have everybody for the defense side trying to lean towards B, and at the same time, KJ here on the side of Jesuit is going to be opening up the A site with all this information gathered. If they get A for free, it's going to be a much different round.
Well, they're going to begin to shift on one up top here toward the heaven side, but does back off, and timing is everything in a game like Valorant. It might just play out in favor of Rebuff here as well. They're going to shift through mid for just a bit. We see Gecko kind of hanging out toward mid, but the Sheriff shot from Noodle Man, and with that, that'll open up a lot of opportunities here.
Okay, Pixel. This is the sophomore trying to really show themselves up, but right now just waiting for their team to rotate. A smart call from them, but with 12 seconds remaining, where is the bomb carrier? We got to get that planted. I think the Molly actually might have stopped them enough. Are you going to be able to stop the bomb plant? If you do, the round is yours, but no, it will be planted. It will be able to allow one player to get a Sheriff pick down, but will they retake efficiently?
It's tough. Players stacked against him. Zio's going to find the first, though, to bring it back to a 4v3. It becomes more feasible with a pick from Pixel, but Tukey off the Sheriff. Zio able to answer back. We see the plaid stripes and the kill feed. The running back comes out as well. Captain Zio. Trades come in now in a 1v1. The classic no. Sent back to heaven for the run it back, and just a little time left on the clock.
Good flash, though. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do against that, but Gotta find the bomb. Gotta find the spike. And you get on it. You get the defuse. And that is going to be the first round won here for Hobart Varsity. Just enough. And honestly, not too shabby from them. However, lots of damage dealt. Attack very happy with that outcome. You got the spike down. You got 4 players without rifles. And now into this next round, you have a full advantage and even a KJ ultimate to lock this down.
Yeah, I mean, you had mentioned it at the previous or the start of that previous round, whereas it was kind of just a bonus round for Brebuff here, and you know, kind of waiting to buy for next. So the fact that they got 4 picks and that plant is huge. We see it now kind of affecting the economy of Hobart as they're going to have a little bit of a scrappy buy here in round 4 themselves, and maybe something that Brebuff is able to take advantage of.
Just gotta take it slow. Right now, though, Flurbus does not have head armor, only has that Marshall. Lots of Marshals on this team. 2 to try to hold A and mid, but Marshals, they're great for doing damage, but getting those very efficient picks, it's up to whether or not you hit that head. And Flurbus, I think, just has to just be patient here.
Oh, not sure that's exactly what they wanted to do with the flash here as well, but Rusty dashing in, finds the headshot on the Flurby. The troubles continue. Pixel and crew look to rotate around. The plant will go down on the A site.
All right, pick down. Defense, technically, they do have what it takes to try to take this, but the lockdown's still in their presence. So if they try to get up close and personal, it's going to have to come down to the picks, and that is a huge one. 2 picks down. Now 1 more falls, and it's just going to be Zio in a 1v. 1 with Took. Not able to clutch it up, and surprise, surprise, it's actually going to be the scrappy buy coming out from Hobart to take it away, and that's something that definitely just completely put all of their momentum back in the hands of this defensive team.
Yeah, we might just have a game on our hands. Some early tug and war back and forth here between these 2 teams. We find ourselves tied up for the first time here today at 2-all, and we're just getting started. Luckily for Brebuff, they've invested decently well, so we might see a decent buy. It looks like they've got 4 rifles in hand. The Spectre there for Rock Zombie, so something that they could still work with here as well, but they are now going up against the 4 rifles of Hobart, or 5 rifles of Hobart, excuse me.
Rifle versus rifle is kind of where I want to be, and we haven't really gotten there yet. It's a lot of staggering from these purchasing power, but if Brebuff wants to keep it going, it's going to come down to maybe start relying on these ultimates. I mean, we have 1 lockdown guaranteeing any point you want, but instead of trying to just go for the B, it's actually the KJ swinging out mid looking for some early aggressive plays, and if that gets punished, that's a huge opportunity missed.
Yeah, especially with that lockdown toward the B side. I mean, you can clear off the entirety of that B site, look to force them off, pressure on, maybe potentially find a plant. We see the spike and the majority of the teammates over there, but still being patient as Brebuff, looking for that early pick. Killjoy still kind of flirting with disaster around mid. We'll see Jet begin to rotate away, but it's Dinky that's credited with the first one toward Garage.
And there's 2. And almost a 3rd. Good attempt there from Chill. I mean, this guy's been getting so many openings, but now it's that top mid fight that we see going on here, and the Gecko swings out, but we're not seeing any real kill. Confirms the sidelines from Rusty Boy. Might be able to get 1, and yes, we will, but Cypher ult is already online. We've seen both players' locations, and with the spike now fully in the possession of the defense, what is Attack to do?
30 seconds left.
Rusty, and then we're going to slow it down just a little bit. You talked about these ults, though, and I'd love to see them coming out soon. It's tough now that you're down 2-4, though. You want to make sure you get value out of them, especially with only 18 seconds left on the clock. So we might see them look to save that rifle, even though it's not as common thing in Valorant. Flurby now begins to shift through mid. Might just catch Rusty off guard. Shots ring out, but it's Rusty on the 180 and somehow finds the pick.
Whoa, and finds 2, but now is dashing right on in with 1 second remaining. You have to get everybody, so at least they went down before the timer burnt, but that could have been a save here, and now defense is up, and Attack somehow still has enough to buy half of their roster, but at the end of the day, they're sitting on so many of these ultimates, and you're looking at what Hobart can do with them. I gotta see that return.
Yeah, 4 ults on deck, ready to flex. Rock Zombie here, 1 away from their ultimate as well, and so that revive could be a huge one. But you know, this lockdown works so good at the B side over here. Now they might have to deal with some of this Cypher utility on the way in, but I believe that's what we might see here. We see that stack outside of Garage. Tuki lockdown in hand. Chill's gonna spot them early, but we'll have to be we'll be forced to back up.
They're forced to back it up, and now maybe we can see that lockdown. Yep, there it is. Now popped. It's trapping these guys off of the point, and they even spot him out with the dart. So 3 seconds remaining. They're dashing in. They're ready to go, but will they get trapped here by these trips?
Doodle. Tucked into the corner. The flame wall comes out. It's Plaid Stripes in the kill feed yet again. Zio working off the flash, steps over. You see the ultimate coming in here from Sova as well. Not able to find the mark. And now Zio from above, the double. And he's looking for more through the smoke with a classic captain backing off here.
Beautiful, beautiful re-hit there from defense. A swing out right on time to make it so they did not have the attack ready for that kind of aggression. Captain Ice, last player standing, might try to go for an AK on the ground, but with the Vandal on the ground, it's going to also be joined by Captain Ice in himself, and that's defense taking another round in a row. We're seeing a 2-round lead, 4 rounds in a row, and honestly, what a turnaround from those first 2.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times you look for those first couple rounds to kind of help set the tone or pace, but it just seemed like once Hobart was able to come into these full buys, get the rifles in hand, they haven't had too many issues. And honestly, it comes off the back of Zio here. I mean, we've seen a lot of great flashes, some great entries, winning most of those gun battles, phenomenal crosshair placement at the moment as well. So things now clicking for Hobart. It's going to be up to Brebuff to maybe throw a wrench in the mix.
Well, let's see if those wrenches are ready. He's got to wind him up and wait for a site. Obviously, Rusty Boy has been very clean at getting the movement onto these sites, but the question is, will they be shut down again? Last time we had Chill completely lock it in. So, Flurb, having to take your time. Remember, this is the same person we watched in that second round. Just try to find that real value here, and somehow managed to burn a decent amount of time, but it's Chill, who always is coming in right at time to completely execute any aggression.
Yeah, smoke's in the way now. It's going to make it harder to pressure onto the site, especially without some type of flash to get you in there as well. So we do see this pressure from Brebuff slow drastically down. They shift up cap. Zio's already waiting for Tukey here. And now the troubles continue. The flash toward Cat comes out. Here comes the peak. Now a little help from the wingman as well. They've got a crossfire play here. And I think Flurby is a bit aware.
Yeah, but when we see this crossfire play, you can't have one person start to swing like that. We got to see them working in tandem, but look at that. Captain starting off, good aggression, good execution, and now they're ready to go in. Rusty still has those knives ready. He wants to try to swing out, but it looks like the Phoenix is back on. And remember, the last time we saw a molly like this, it got a pick, and it almost, no, it does just completely burn through Rock Zombie there in 10 seconds remaining. You can't push. You're going to try anyways, but there's no time.
Takes at least 4 to plant, and you know, we talk about it sometimes, time management. It's an equally as important aspect of the game here, and these last couple rounds has been a little bit tough for Brebuff Jesowitz, so have to find a way to lock it down. As you mentioned earlier, they somehow keep finding ways to buy rifles into these rounds, so they're coming up with funds from somewhere, but they just haven't been able to solidify these big dubs that they need. It's now 5 rounds in a row for Hobart Varsity.
I think the big problem that I'm looking at here does come down to who's buying who. A lot of these guys are forcing right now. Captain Ice forcing for himself. Rusty Boy can afford to buy that Spectre for him, but instead we're having a very, self-centered purchasing trend right now. And honestly, Hot Sauce, it might be keeping them down. Yes, Rusty Boy can keep buying. He did pop knives and picked up a gun from someone else, so that's where that money's coming from. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I think if you are... Oh, actually, we flipped the teams. It's actually Brebuff Jesuit in the lead, and it's going to be... Brebuff Jesuit and Hobart Varsity flipped. So, shout-outs to Brebuff. I've been saying that they've been losing the whole time.
I was just trying to keep us on our toes, I guess. But now that we've got those difficulties ironed out, it is Brebuff up on top here with 5. So, we apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll see Rusty and Tukey get the pressure forward toward Tree. It's a beautiful flash, but no pressure off of it. He's going to use this wall here to back off to a safer position. And so still it slows Hobart down a little bit. Still trying to decide exactly where they want to go, but a lot of pressure at mid at the moment.
Yeah, lots of pandemonium so far in the early rounds from both of these teams. That mid section definitely seemingly where Attack wants to keep on holding the W key. But I'm also looking at Noodleman. Has the spike. has the From the Shadows, could just completely change their position here and maybe just find an opening area. Right now, boat is empty. We could see some interesting location plays, but I think Zio has heard the people pushing up Cat. With 15 seconds again, we might not even have enough time if this Omen gets knocked down.
Oh, Zio again, finding not one, but two before the run it back expires. Furby will pick up one on the Rusty. Chill for Real is there as well. Fakes the defusal, finds the second, and this team is firing on all cylinders.
So clean, so smart of this Phoenix to be able to pop that, run it back, and actually show it up to us. So a flawless round coming out from defense. Attack, I think the big problem that we're looking at here, Hot Sauce, is that time management. They were forced to just go for the plant instead of even knowing what was on that site.
Yeah, we still see a few ults here as well, and unfortunately Sage's Rock Zombie has kind of been taken out early in a lot of these engagements, so hasn't been able to use that revive as well, but hopefully they can get something going this round. I mean, I know we keep saying that, but they've got the weaponry to work with here, and unfortunately if they don't find a few more rounds, I feel like on this attacking side, they might be looking, you know, to call upon the 9-3 curse.
All right. 9-3 curse, definitely a doable, but I'm thinking 6-6. This is where attack turns it around. I got Hobart Varsity. I'm watching you guys. I think they definitely have the chance to turn this back. But remember, Hobart, they are full of varsity level seniors. So let's see if they've learned that. And that's a good start. Finding someone putting a little bit too much pressure and out of the comfort zone, they get executed for that bad positioning.
Pixel in toward market. Looking for a kill here to stay alive, and right now Hobart just has to hang back a little while longer. Pixel is going to go down. No value from the Alpha. Chill for Real finding Rusty. We'll make it back to a 4v4 as two linger here just outside of Pizza. Oh,
what? Okay. All right. What a solid just patience there. They didn't shoot it. They waited for it to go past. It was definitely a gamble. If it turned to the right, they would have both been stunned, but now they're both blind. But it doesn't even matter. They're still getting picks. Luckily, Dinky's the last one alive to get at least one pick down, but can Dinky keep it up and keep on this streak?
30 seconds
1v3 and Buff. They just need to keep going.
just need one more pick here. They're going to be able to get this plant down as well. They just got to play together, and they should be able to solidify this round win. And you might just be right. It could be that single spark to ignite the spectral fire here and maybe go on a 4-round run to find a tied half. But one kill, one round at a time is what they're going to, or how they're going to have to attack it.
Walls up. Walls up, doors closed. If you're Dinky, you have to make a lot of noise, kind of telegraphing where you're going to be coming through, but instead you sit right center and pretty, and you get punished for it. And that's a triple kill coming out from the Silva. And I said it, this is where the 6-6 half might be possible. We're seeing a turnaround in the way these guys are playing.
Looking beautiful so far, but it is only one round after this 6-round run, and so it's going to be important for them to be able to put those rounds on the board in bunches. They've still got these 3 ultimates to work with here as well, so I wouldn't mind seeing at least 1, potentially 2 of these come out here in this next round. Try to solidify it, build off the back of that momentum, and see if maybe you can turn this snowball into an avalanche.
It only takes gravity and time to make something like that happen, but honestly, you have to see at the top of the mountain all the weight, and it's on the weight of the shoulders of this Jet. Chill for Real getting another clean opening, but it's another Jet taking out Zio to really kind of even things out here. Now, will they get confident enough to start pushing onto this A site? You just have to hold that W key, but all these smokes are perfect to get Flurvis. Not a lot of value here, and Rusty reloading, getting a little hungry for those picks.
Oh, Chill, Noodleman, Captain, all getting a piece of the pie momentarily here. Rusty knows there's still one up here toward heaven, so just being cautious as we see Dinky begin to break the door. Now looks to pressure in, spotted in the corner, takes a ton of damage. Captain Noodle combined for 2, and Hobart is looking to get right back in it.
Wow, it's just so clean. And now you're looking at Chill for Real, Zio Abyss falling early, even with the trade-offs, having to change their play style. That's right. It's time for the operator. It's time for these guys to just completely shift this back in their control. But at the end of the day, a 6-4 scoreline is looking very pleasant if you're an attack-sided team, as arguably with this team comp, very defense-heavy, especially with that KJ and Sage. The double Sentinel can lead to such great results.
We'll see if they can continue the success here on the attacking side. Tuki trying to maybe use that turret for a bit of intel on the swing, but they don't know that that op is there waiting in the middle, the one-hitter quitter. And with that, we'll see them begin to fade away from that mid area.
Huge. That's why we pick up the op in the first place. But you said one-hitter quitter. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more aggressive plays, and that's Rusty Boy. Again, it's the Jet start, one on attack falls, Jet attack, one on the defense falls. It's just, this is the theme of the past 2 rounds here, and we might be seeing it again. We're not going to be seeing a flank either, but they hear the footsteps. Dinky, 1 and 2.
Give me a corpse.
Able to back off here a bit as well, and 2 big picks leaves them with a 2-player advantage. Sage still has that ult, potentially could pop a wall, maybe look for that res, but it's a quick swing that leaves him dead. The res comes in, but there's nothing to cover him off, and the troubles continue. Chill is on fire.
Wow, what a play in man. I mean, they had the spike, they could have walked a long way around, but the temptation of trying to pick up their teammate, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword there. You know, great to have more people, especially if you're Chill for real, needing to pad that KD. So getting into this next round, though, both rifles online. How are they going to play around this op?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you've got to use that utility, try to smoke them off, maybe a potential flash, and you know, overwhelm them. You can't afford to give them the 1v1s that they're wanting there. So we will see that smoke come in toward mid, but right now, you know, very patient on this pressure up catwalk.
Yeah, no more pressure up in A main. I thought it was working very well. It was the counter to fall back into mid that really bit them here. But if you can smoke off bottom mid and you can keep pushing into cat, tree might be your only issue. And we've seen the difference between these Phoenix and this Jet. It goes in the favor of Rusty.
Flash in hand, but we'll back off to buy a little bit more time here as well. We see that device outside of the A site. Most of the action heading that way as well. The molly comes in, but the dash is too quick. He's on towards site. Rusty able to find Flurby behind Jen here.
Your fault. My ult's ready.
All right. Wow. What a pick. And that's a big one down. No more Jet. Defense looking a little rough, and now it's only 2 players remaining. Noodleman on a beautiful flank in time, and what a shot. Attackers are going to be taking that, and you said 9-3. They said, nuh-uh, 7-5. Let's switch the sides, and let's see how this game's going to really be starting to heat up with a new chance at recovery from Hobart or an explosion of ending the game off for Brobarf.
Yeah, I mean, this is great from Hobart. You know, it can be tough mentally to be down that much, you know, 6-2 at one point, but they don't let it affect them. They continue to fight and trudge through the trenches here. They battle back nicely. And honestly, if you're from that attacking side, you should be happy with 5 rounds. So these first couple rounds are going to be incredibly crucial for both of these squads here. But it was Hobart that had success on that pistol round on the one to follow.
Yeah, huge. Huge. Now, I am looking at something a little bit fun. I don't get to see a lot of pistol round frenzies, but in the hands of a Phoenix, it could definitely do some real damage. And, oh, they're all spotted. Everybody better be rotating. And Rusty Boy, what a start. Takes out Zeo Abyss clean as ever and might be able to find yet another one. Chill. Lean just needs to try to break through this wall. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little tough.
Yeah, that smoke slows everything down. Captain looking to apply a little more damage with these shock darts. It doesn't look like they quite find a home here. And with that, Rebuff looks like they still want to continue to push toward A. Flurby finds a nasty headshot on the Captain. There's been no rotation from Hobart yet, and they might just have numbers here, but Rusty, trigger discipline in the corner, finds a Quadra.
Okay, Chill versus 2 now. I see that Diamond Buddy definitely representing. I was shocked that we saw that Clove not being able to turn on the Executioner for their team, but Rock Zombie could do a really funny thing and just wall off directly underneath them. Oh, no way.
He heard you. What are they?
Now what are you gonna do, Chill? They know where you're at and you're stuck. You're stuck. And you get punched through it. Oh my god, what a solid play. Rock Zombie doing the big brain strats to execute the round.
Beautiful job here by Hobart, and that pistol round is going to be huge for them. It's going to make this next round a much more winnable round here, as again we see Brebuff kind of forced into the eco round. So they just need to make sure they try to carry some of that momentum into round 3 and 4. It wasn't until that third round of the first half where they started to experience some of those troubles, and they went on a little bit of a drought. So looking to avoid that here on the defensive side, but 19-8 for Rusty Boy.
19-8. Pretty dang clean, but is it going to be enough? You have still a 1-round deficit. You're now on the defense, and we're seeing a little bit more aggressive plays from this defense than the last. I mean, Rusty is trying to push up Cat. You have the Omen trying to just do the best. An early smoke here on A, but all of the players, no information being gathered quite yet. I believe this is going to be a full save from this attack side, so how are they going to be able to punch through this KJ utility? The smokes are down, and they have to show up with it.
Cover going out.
See that pressure beginning to come on toward the B site. A lot of utility being thrown in both direction here. The wall goes up as well, tucked in toward logs, and now it looks like they try to attempt to molly it off here, but just out of range. Tukey, good for 3, and they can't get through the gauntlet as he finds the 4th. An ace on the cards.
One more left. The no-scope's trying to come out, but Chill is going to be able to grab the execution. Now Marshall in the hands. Can we shut down the ace? We can. Now we have a chance for a clutch ace coming out from Chill, but here's the footsteps. The no-scope hits the body. Another one down. Huge from Chill. This is the carry of this team to keep it alive. Spectre versus 2. And Rusty, the MVP of the defense, still alive.
They're going to hear that dash as well, so they're aware. The Jet has now made their way onto the site. They need to play together, but Sage is very far back here, and that smoke in the way as well will allow Chill to get up into a different position here. Going to head toward the steps as well. Shots ringing out from Rock Zombie here with the stinger, but just barely miss it. Now the spot comes in. 6 health, and Chill is looking for the ace, but it gets shut down by Rusty. 2 quadras before Rusty finds the clutch, and all of a sudden we find ourselves tied up for the second time here this evening.
Second time in, 7-7. Defense looking pretty clean, and what a clutch here from Rusty to try to shut down Chill. It's a battle of the Jets right now. It looks like we're watching War Thunder gameplay. I mean, you got Chill for real, 20-10. You got Rusty Boy, 20-8, looking pretty clean. But with a tied game now, it might come down to who can build up the economy better. If Chill drops that Vandal for Pixel and pops those knives, their team's going to be set for economy for the rest of the game. But do they know the strategies of economy macro?
Yeah, you know, it's not always as common down here at this level, but you're going to look to work off the back of Rusty here. And honestly, everybody's feeling their role nicely at this point in time. This is where it began to fall apart in the first half. So it's going to be important for Hobart to make sure that doesn't happen here in the second half.
Chill wants to try to open it up. You have Rusty right around the corner. You kind of put a wanted poster around his head right now. And I have to see if it works out for Rusty to keep up this energy. I mean, I know when you're in the hot seat, when you're competing, when it's the first day of the season, you want to show up and show out. This pressure to keep on delivering for us, it sometimes makes diamonds and sometimes it shatters everything.
Early shots now, the flash as they look to pressure on toward the B site. Tukey, Marshall in hand, and he finds a headshot. There's Chill, good for 1 and 2 though, and that's a common theme at this point. Zio does get tagged a bit here by Tukey, but will tuck off toward logs.
Chill versus Rusty. Somehow Chill manages to get around the corner, but it's gonna be the right click. No, Chill executes in a road for an ace. Tuk, the last player, trying to hold it and gets nice clean no scopes, but with such limited HP and a very hungry Chill, they want the ace and they don't get it. What a no scope flick right to the kneecaps. You're out of here, and so is Tuk.
I mean, Chill is just absolutely on fire at the moment. That's a back-to-back quadra round for Chill. They're up to 25 kills and 11 deaths at this point, but I mean, what a performance out of both of these Jets. It has been back and forth throughout the entirety of this one, and honestly, we've been blessed with an absolute cinema here today.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful setup here. Very close game. You know, when we talk about scholastic level, you know, even when you were a kid in Little League games, you had one team with the 6'8" kid, and then you guys roll 5'9". You know, it feels like that, except now the Valorant equivalent.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Rubuff, action through mid this time. There is a sage wall here waiting already as they do navigate through this smoke here. And Alcho and them will slow down. They've got to decide whether they want to break it or maybe wait it out. They've got plenty of time on the clock to work with here as the round has just begun.
Rock Zombie should know to aim a little bit lower here, but the big concern I'm looking at is this wall is all the util they have. No slows. Nothing else can really slow this team down except for the bull. Bark then didn't even get a whimper.
Yeah, I think they were ready because of where that wall was placed. They were certainly going to check the corners there, buy pizza. So they come up with an early pick on the Rocksteady. Tuki's already been dropped below half, and Chill will go ahead and finish him off here as well. Now toward logs, anticipating the pressure through the smoke, but you got to check the corners. They forget here as well. The flash comes in, and now it's ZL, but Rusty, my man, has been blessed.
Wow, been blessed with some bullets as well from Dinky. One player left. Noodleman is gone. Executed from the sidelines. The CT is actually a T-spawn now, and that's Pixel taking a round and 2-round lead back in the hands of Rebuff.
Similar showing from that first half. Again, it was that third round in the first half. We're seeing something similar. So for Hobart, they just got to nip it in the bud here sooner than later and make sure that Rubuff doesn't go on another 6-round run. Unfortunately, this round, though, could be a tough one for him as we see a very scrappy buy coming out. Maybe a stinger, maybe not. At least a sheriff in the hands of Noodleman.
Here we are. Rusty, it's time to pop off here. Knives are going to be flying here. It ain't a Gordon Ramsay kitchen until a knife flies. So let's see what this guy can cook us up with. Something nice and neat. But Noodleman is also not have the best. He's able to knock it down. His blind's perfect. Actually, he's able to hit Flurbus's. But it goes past. It doesn't connect. And they might push trying to get that execution. Noodleman's already managed to grab Dinky, but it's gonna be Chill holding W and getting onto the point. And it's another one from Zio. The double duelist seems a bit too strong. And another Molly right on this team. Gives them enough time. The run it back is ready.
And the flash is good as well. He finds at least one. Tuki able to find that trade at a minimum, but with that run it back, the extra life in hand, now a 4v2. The economy not that great for Hobart here as well. And so even though they've got this lockdown, potentially going to save it for the next round. And it looks like Brubuff may be going to 10 here.
You want more? Here's more.
I want more. Show me what you got. 2 players remaining and you're hunting for them. You're going to be able to spot out one. It's not going to connect all the way, but the information is gathered. 2. No, don't do it. Don't put that ult down. Instead, they're going to be put down 6 feet under. It's Captain Ice. Point blank. And will be executed as well. That's double digits here, Hot Sauce.
Up to 10 and looking for the win. 2 to get to match point. Hobart's got to find a way to slow him down, but it was an eco round. They've got plenty of money in the bank now, and we will see a full buy coming out for Hobart. So you feel like if there is ever a round that it needed to happen, it would be now here in round number 18.
All right. It's time to shine. It's time for Rusty Boy to keep it up. Remember, this guy was 20-10, now 21-11. We've kind of seen him slow down a decent amount, but I guess we're not going to look at him anymore. Look at Chill for real. Still keeping up the energy at the top of the scoreboard. And now has knives as well. Not going to pop him this round. Instead, opting to just dash on in and do some damage. It's the bot, though, that gives them all the info they need.
Well, some shots exchanged, but a very quick rotation coming away here for Rubuff as they now head back towards spawn, and Phoenix will follow from Tayo. As we see on that minimap, Hobart has shifted toward the B side. It looks like maybe Sova is all alone over there, and so an opportunity for them to capitalize. We see Jet begin to shift back toward the A side, but Rubuff still has an opportunity to use the numbers here.
It's hard to use the numbers when Chill is cutting them down every single time he spots them. We do see Dinky trying to go for the plant. It does bait Rusty to push, and that's going to be perfect for Chill, while allowing these players to push on in. The spike now planted. It's Dinky's Cypher trying to push and get aggressive here. Noodleman still sitting on this ultimate. I don't think we've seen that from the shadows once yet for info, but instead, they don't need it. They just want to walk on that point. They want to walk and finish off all the low HP that we see.
Yeah, speaking of low HP, there's Chill. 12 health and a dream, but he has been a monster throughout the entirety of this one, as both Jets have. But for Hobart, they're without Rusty at the moment. Time now slowly beginning to tick away. And Noodleman maybe looks to drop a smoke here and trying to make something happen. But again, I'm not even sure if they're going to have enough time. And they don't even have enough bodies after that. Chill for 3. Flurby's Phoenix both will get a pick apiece. And now Brewbuff just 1 away from match point.
1 away. You're looking at 30 bomb coming on in here from Chill. You know, if this is Counter-Strike days, that was something that everyone was so ecstatic to see. And now in Valorant, where there's less rounds, it's even more impressive to see a 30 drop with only 18 rounds have been played. That is a pretty stacked KAST. And now it's time to really shine here. Tuke, defensive, ready to rock. The problem that I'm looking at is, what does attack have to get them these sites? You know, obviously you have a KJ, lockdown gets them B, but now they can only use it as a stall tool.
Does look like the pressure is coming through Garage here as well. That smoke will go down, but they're going to follow that flash in from Gecko. The dash is good. They got to check left. Rusty able to find the first. He sneaks in behind them. The triple kill. One able to make it onto the site, but the spike will go down.
Chill, 8 HP.
Last player standing.
And now there's not much left. TP's on out. And they almost find it, but are we going to be seeing Noodle getting aggressive? No, they give up their position by tapping that shot, and now they are trapped. No spike, no team, and a whole lot of time. If you play it patient, you might be able to get away with this.
I thought maybe they were just hanging back because they wanted Rusty to get that ace. He's got a quadra, but Noodle is going to snatch that one away. And we've seen a lot of quadra kills out of both of these Jets here today. Hobart hanging on by a thread, but they're still in it. They've only got 1 round to give, but they find one here, and we talked about it. In that first half, it was a 6-round run. They stop it a little bit shorter here at 4. Now we need to see if they can go on a little run of their own.
They have to. If they don't, if match points gets given over to Brewbuff, it could be something that completely derails the mental. I mean, it's really tough when you know, okay, I have to force buy, I have to use my util, I have to use my ultimates, I can't lose, I can't make a mistake. That pressure really does do a lot of numbers on these players. So, will the anxiety be getting to them, or will we see them start to turn around right here, right now?
Time will tell. A lot of action here around that mid area. Zio just looking for any potential flank, but we see Hobart being patient on this A site. They're going to back up and give a little bit of space here toward the mid, though.
Take your time. Lots of, almost all of the util from this Gecko is not going to be able to be picked up now. Just tossing everything in mid. We lost it. Could be a make or break here. Little mistakes like that can add up, and unfortunately, it's a trade-off. Luckily, it's Rusty for Chill. That is the highest level trade you could possibly do. Good value trade for either team.
Back to a 4v4. I will say it feels like Brewbuff has done a little bit better job on the attacking side as far as rotations go, but they're maybe looking to just power forward toward the A side here, as I said, and Rock Zombie waiting in the corner. Clove's going to pop the ult, though, and they've got to find him. Flurby with some help. Captain Ice, Noodle, Zio, all finding picks here in this one.
1 enemy remaining.
Nice, another one for Noodle, and in 2v1, you still have a little bit of flank developed, but Zio, he's got 15 seconds. If they start playing time, it's not going to be too much time to make it work, and that's one. But
10 seconds left.
unfortunately, they heard the footstep. And they clutch it. Zio with 4 seconds remain, and they absolutely decimated. 12-8, and a clutch that will be heard for a while.
Yeah, that's a tough one there because you have 2 left. 1 goes down. I mean, with only 8 seconds, realistically, Tukey probably could have just backed off, tried to play time, maybe force them to collect that spike and see if they could barely get it planted in that amount of time. But you know, it's always easier said when we're up here sitting in the booth when then, you know, the action's actually unfolding down there. So an unfortunate round for Hobart. It doesn't go their way. They find themselves now down by 4 with Brewbuff at match point. 4 additional opportunities to close this one out.
Chill for real. Looking to start with another opener. Remember how much damage this guy's been taking at the start. Wants to try to change that. But I love the crossfire. You look at A, the Silva, the Sage, the S's. They are in this game for a reason. And the wall, though, will try to scare them off. So, are they ready for the rotate? Nobody's in mid. Bottom mid for defense, completely empty. But they go for a re-hit. The first time we've actually seen a confident re-hit in a while.
They've got a way through here. Just waiting for this smoke to dissipate. We can see the pings on the mini-map coming out here as well. But Hunter's Fury initially comes out, but he doesn't even use it here. And so I'm not sure what happened with Captain Ice. The explosion comes in. Chill. Captain does find one, but it is the run it back.
Wow. Another run it back and another pickup. That's going to be Chill getting on in. But look at the position that we're seeing the spike being planted by Dinky. This could be very easy to re-hit and re-steal. But it's up to Noodleman to keep this kind of energy going as they have managed to grab the Gecko. But in a 3v4, we still have ultimates to use. But this is so far back, it's not going to find much value. Yes, they get to go off site. But honestly, you have a Jet that gets to sit up in tree.
Yeah, doesn't cover even the main entry here as well. And so blind though to buy some time. Rusty's going to capitalize on it. Dinky, Chill fighting two apiece, and now Noodle all alone has the ult, but really isn't going to do him much here. Able to find a nice headshot on the Zio, but Chill for real was waiting, and he ends it with another quadra. How many kills did Chill end up with here?
I would assume about 35 with the wonderful game plan that we get a witness from them, but yeah, 35.
35, you nailed it.
Looking at that, very efficient gameplay from both of these teams. Gotta shout out Rusty Boy. 103 econ score, 7 first bloods, was the first blood leader every single time. It was always Rusty that started it. Chill, however, was the guy who finished it. So I can't be mad at that gameplay. That was a very close matchup, and honestly, for our start of a season, that's got to be a good look.
Yeah, that's one of the better matches we've had for sure. And honestly, everybody played well. We had 6 different players in double-digit kills. Everybody was putting in work, and so I'm just glad that they put on a nice competitive match here for us. So if you're Hobart, definitely hold your heads high. You had a great start. You were able to fight back throughout this one, but we give Brew Buff the big GGs on the day.
Absolutely, and of course, we have even more of Indiana Esports Network to come. This is just the first week. We got all the way until the 2026 spring season of games ready to kind of schedule and look at. So I'm very excited to see what's going to be happening next. I'm excited to say that we have a awesome prod team and even better players to look at coming up here. So if you guys are a fan of what you're looking at here at the IEN, at the Indiana Esports Network, do us a favor and drop a follow on all of our platforms. I know we have a wonderful Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Make sure that you do put in the work to show up and show out for the favorite players that you guys call your friends, your family, and remember, it's always fun to play. So, Hot Sauce, how are we feeling after that wonderful best of 1?
Hey, feeling great. Honestly, it was a great start to the season here. Like I said, they put on a great match for us here on a set. We had a little bit of back and forth, some tug of war. We saw it tied up a couple times as well. So, always an honor to be in the booth with you here as well. A quick shout out to one of our other sponsors in League OS Portal, though. So, if you're interested in playing some esports in college, just head on over to portal.leagueos.gg. IEN students can also go in there to sign and manage their own profiles. There's various different scholarships out there for players, shoutcasters like us here in the booth, social media managers, and much, much more. So, LOS Portal is free for students. Don't miss your chance to get discovered. Visit portal.leagueos.gg today and make sure to take your game to the next level.
Absolutely. And honestly, Hot Sauce, with League OS as our sponsor, I will say, if you guys are collegiate or not, or about to be collegiate, League OS is where NECC lives. It's where NACE lives. It's where a lot of the big tournaments are happening. So make sure, if you don't have it set up yet, please set it up, because if you do have one, you will be using that same profile later in life. So with that being said, remember that we do have Fortnite coming up here on Wednesday here at the IEN. I won't be there, but I'm sure you'll see some great casters, great gameplay, and a great day. So have a great day. Thanks for watching.